this is crazy.
Yeah.
This guy's 40 years old and still can crack and still as fast as lightning.
Still got speed that kind of compares to the average or above average speed that's out there today.
Joe Rogan reacted to Manny Pacquiao's new training footage at 46 years old, calling it unbelievable. He said it's crazy how Pacquiao, despite being close to 50, still hits hard and moves like a much younger fighter. His speed, power, and sharpness haven't faded, and he still looks incredible.
He's still not normal, but he's still like a professional heavyweight boxer. He's still terrifying.
Joe Rogan says Manny Pacquiao is a completely different kind of fighter. He doesn't rely on trash talk or hype, but proves everything in the ring. Even at 46, his discipline, speed, and power speak louder than words. Pacquiao remains focused, humble, and dangerous, showing he's still a force to be reckoned with.
He's an interesting guy, man, because he's so friendly.
Right.
You know, like even like when people are trash talking, he's like smiling, and then he gets in that ring.
Kick your ass later.
Different fucking dude.
Right.
Once he steps through that ropes, like this is a whole different set of rules he's flying with.
Like Keith Thurman talking about you gonna crucify him and stuff like that, and he just
don't say that. Yeah.
And got crucified.
Yeah, but he's
I wish you the best
too.
Good luck in the fight.
Recent training footage of Pacquiao has sparked renewed discussion. A short clip shows him hitting pads with sharp focus and surprising speed. His punches land in rapid combinations, and his movement flashes the same elusive footwork that once troubled elite opponents. Even at 46, there's a spark in his rhythm, a clear reminder of the explosive style that made him a legend in the ring. Joe Rogan has often shown deep admiration for Manny Pacquiao's extraordinary boxing career, especially highlighting his unprecedented achievement of winning world titles in 8 different weight classes. Rogan emphasized how rare and impressive this feat is, marveling not just at the number of titles, but also at Pacquiao's incredible speed and agility for his size. He famously compared Pacquiao's legs to tanks, praising the power and endurance they provide. This unique blend of speed and strength made Pacquiao a dominant force in boxing, capable of overwhelming opponents across multiple divisions.
Greatest boxer maybe in my generation, Manny Pacquiao.
Oh yeah,
Destroyed.
Manny Pacquiao. He
Fucking just
won world
destroyed.
titles in 8 different weight classes. Who the fuck does that?
And the way he did it, like
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of Cotto. I love this school, and the way that he beat Cotto, I didn't think nobody could ever do that to him. It was just like, bro, what the fuck?
Well, his legs, Manny's legs are like tree trunks.
Yeah, and the
It's
hand
crazy.
speed, the power,
speed, everything.
I just always wish that the Mayweather Pacquiao fight would have took place many years before than when it did. You know.
Well, it also took place when Manny went into the fight with a fucked up shoulder. I mean, he knew his shoulder was fucked before that fight, and he just wanted that money, and just let's see what happened.
Rogan has also speculated on how explosive a fight between Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather could have been if they had faced each other earlier in their primes. He believes the matchup would have taken over the internet and social media, shattering records and capturing the attention of millions around the world. His remarks reflect not just admiration for Pacquiao's skill, but also recognition of the scale of his legacy. According to Rogan, Pacquiao is more than a great boxer. He's a cultural phenomenon whose impact goes far beyond the sport.
Some great fights never take place, or they take place too late, like Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. They fought too late. I mean, if that fight could have been arranged by Riyadh Season, they probably would have caught them both in their prime, and it would have been chaos.
Yeah, Manny was done before that ever started.
And he also had a blown shoulder going into the fight.
Yeah.
He needed shoulder surgery before the fight even started.
Combat analyst Ryan Campbell offers a thoughtful perspective on Pacquiao's return to the ring at 46. He highlights the challenges of going up against a younger, stronger opponent like Mario Barrios, but also draws comparisons to George Foreman's legendary comeback. Campbell suggests that age doesn't always define a fighter's potential, noting that boxing history has seen veterans summon one final burst of greatness in a single unforgettable performance.
Only 8-division world champion. He'll be inducted into the International Boxing Hall of Fame next month. And then in July, BC is going to come out of retirement. Why now?
By the way, between those two dates, I believe he has an election coming up for a Senate position in the Philippines. So we always know that Manny is a busy man. He gets after it. He also dares to be great. And this is wild news. Look, in the boxing underground rumor mill, this had been floating around for a couple months. We just didn't know if it was going to be for real. Was Manny really going to commit to not just coming back after 4 years away, after just one fight in the last 6 years, at age 46, but to come back directly into a title fight against a young, in his prime, active champion in Mario Barrios? It's interesting theater, to say the least. It's a pay-per-view main event, reportedly for July 19th. And we know Manny Pacquiao has always brought big business, but now he's going to bring it in more of the late career George Foreman type of way to etch himself into that record book even further. Can Manny do it? I mean, look, the odds are certainly against him, but there's one thing about certain legends in this game. Think Bernard Hopkins, who fought into a very late age. Some of them, as long as they can physically get themselves into that ring, sometimes they can reproduce magic for one night. So it's a romantic situation. I got cats walking around.
Yep.
People are excited to see the Pac-Man back. You just got to kind of figure out, is this for real? Is he going to be for real? Or are we going to send him into a physical, violent retirement?
Campbell also assessed Pacquiao's current physical abilities, acknowledging that while he's clearly past his prime, he still possesses a level of speed that remains competitive with many average fighters today. Though his explosiveness has declined, Campbell points out that Pacquiao's hand speed and footwork continue to give him an edge over less skilled welterweights. The boxing community remains divided on expectations for his upcoming fight. Some fans are hopeful, believing his instincts and ring IQ are still sharp enough for a strong showing. Others remain cautious, remembering his last bout 5 years ago, which lacked the dominance he was once known for. This mix of optimism and concern reflects the uncertainty surrounding his return, as people weigh respect for his legacy against the reality of his current form.
Manny Pacquiao against Mario Barrios fight is signed, done for July of 2025. Pacquiao is 46 years old. We haven't seen him in the ring in years. Are you cool with Pacquiao against Mario Barrios?
If I was cool with Manny Pacquiao coming back and fighting Keith Thurman, I'm definitely going to be cool with this one. Barrios is not a puncher. Thurman was one of the biggest punchers in boxing. I think he's going to be just fine.
If Pacquiao wants to come back as a Hall of Famer and fight one more time, whatever. He didn't look good against Yordenis Ugas, and that was 5 years ago. We've seen him in these exhibitions looking fleshy, to say the least. It's meaningless because if Barrios wins, he's never going to fight a Boots Ennis. If Pacquiao wins, he's not going to fight anybody ever again. So I'm kind of indifferent to the whole thing.
Speculation is growing that the fight against Mario Barrios may be just the beginning of a planned comeback for Pacquiao. Rumors suggest that a win over Barrios could pave the way for a high-profile showdown with Gervonta "Tank" Davis. Some believe Barrios was strategically chosen as a winnable opponent, intended to help Pacquiao build momentum and generate buzz for a bigger, more lucrative bout. This kind of matchmaking is a familiar tactic in boxing comebacks, where early fights are used to assess a returning legend's form and market appeal.
So basically, your interpretation is that the boxing public is upset because they believe Pacquiao's going to beat Barrios, which is going to lead to a Tank Pacquiao fight?
Yes, look around. Look in the Discord. That's what everybody, Pac and Tank, that's being set up.
Oh,
Tank
so,
and Pac.
okay, so they saying Barrios is the setup for Tank and Pac. I didn't see that, but your argument makes sense. If he beats Barrios, there's nothing wrong with him fighting Tank. But the issue is he don't deserve the Barrios fight off of 3 years off and a loss to Ugas.
And that's Crimea River, man. That's what boxing is. But longer deserve a Canelo fight.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis has a 6 to 7 fight deal with the PBC and Amazon for $200 million. That's like $30 million a fight. All right. He also has a fight date for November. El Rayo team has said they're not fighting this year. So he's not the guy. So the question is, who is the guy who is willing to fight Tank by November and could build the fight into a fight worth $30 million? Y'all must be out y'all minds if y'all think that Manny Pacquiao versus Gervonta Tank Davis isn't a huge fight. That'll probably be his biggest fight ever. Y'all know that's a big fight because the boxing fan today, they know Tyson, Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, Canelo Alvarez. That's who they know.